How's everyone doing? How are we doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. It's Friday. We made it. Another week down. Oh, I'm trying to pin this. Sorry. Hope everyone's doing well today. I know back on the East Coast it's been raining. Here it is not 100 degrees, so that's where we're at. I'll just wait till Gerard gets in here and we'll get started. But I hope everyone's doing well. Obviously, in the current climate that we're in, really making sure and taking care of ourselves, not only physically, but mentally, with everything that's going on. And just keeping our mind right. Make sure we're filtering everything that we're taking in and that we're reading. Sorry. I don't know how that happened and why I did that, but you got to see the bear. But also, just taking a break with everything that's going on. Just make sure you're taking a break from, yes, I saw that. That's amazing that she did that and then wrote the letter. So she's been very petty. And like I said, if anyone who follows me on Facebook, I've been a lot more vocal on Facebook. To be honest, the show, not to say the show is taking a back seat, but everything that's going on, I feel like my voice needs to be heard in different ways. So we all have a part in what's going to happen and what we want to see happen. So, some of us, you might not see us post about things or if we're at protests or not, but we're definitely doing things behind the scenes. I know I am. So just keeping the same energy and keep pushing with what's going on because, like I say, the fight, has just begun. So just keep that in mind. But, everything that has been going on between Mayor Bowser and D.C., painting that on the streets and then writing the letter essentially to get the National Guard out of there and whatever extra protection out of there is great. It's great to see some things start to move in motion, but we just have to keep going because now we have to move towards reform and legislation and things of that nature because there's always that next step. People think they have too much power, so and it comes through legislation. So, and a big part of it, people always say, is you gotta vote. So obviously November 3rd, whatever your choice is, but you get out there and vote. Like I've been telling people too, it's one thing to vote, but it's also another thing to be informed on what you're voting, or who you're voting for, I should say. So that's always a big thing. So just keep that in mind. All right. G is in here. And then we can get started.
Big Ray!
What's up?
What up, what up, what up? How you feeling? I'm in
I'm
the
good.
back of the car, man. I'm giving you live footage from the road.
Oh my gosh! I get the privilege of live footage from the. Were you down
Ooh.
there?
Not today. I was down there yesterday, though.
Okay, I know it's
Yeah.
raining down in DC.
Yeah, now it's raining really hard, so.
Okay,
But,
okay. Well, I'll give people a minute to join in, and then we can get started. How are you doing? How's everything going?
I'm doing well, man. Trying times, but staying optimistic, and I think some of the struggles and stuff that's been going on is gonna illuminate into like a lot of greatness moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing a lot of revolutionary things going on
Yeah.
right now.
Can y'all see me? I'm trying to catch some light.
Yeah, I can see you. Nice.
There we go.
We'll have a chat after this about this. But I'll go ahead and get started. I know people will filter in later on and hear that, but I do have the illustrious Coach G, owner of Sweat DC from Washington DC. He is in the back of a car right now, but that's okay. I don't discriminate, so that's fine. Um, so thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we don't lose you while you're driving to your destination.
Nah, I got
Right. Hopefully, we don't
T-Mobile.
lose you while you're driving to your destination.
I
Oh,
got
okay.
T-Mobile.
Well, that's good. No 5G. So, I wanted to start off like most guests that I have on. I usually ask them, as a child, did you always see yourself as being fit, maybe skinny or overweight? Did you have any weight issues when you were younger?
Actually, like, I grew up really chubby, and one of my things I had to overcome was like getting out of that mindset of always being an overweight kid and being the one that felt like I was not as fit or I fit in as much, especially my brothers were both very, very athletic. And though I played sports and stuff like that, I always felt like I was overweight. And I think even when you get in shape, if you've ever been out of shape, sometimes it takes a little bit for your mindset to kind of not have as much like body dysmorphia issues and stuff like that too. So definitely been
Right.
a struggle.
So you mentioned athletics. Is that how you essentially got into fitness?
Yeah, I mean, so I played basketball, football, baseball growing up, but I also really like science, and I kind of combine those two together, and just I think more than that aspect though, I really always loved empowering people. So I wanted to make sure there was a way that I could help people get better, and just like fitness helped me, I wanted to be able to help others.
Okay. Now, what made you kind of fast forwarding to your life? What made you want to get into the business aspect of the fitness world? Because there's not a lot of people that, I mean, now it's starting to pick up, but not a lot of people that look like us in the actual business part. So, what made you want to get into that?
Yeah, so I mean, I did personal training. I was helping people, and the funny thing about it is, I never really looked at it as a business. Honestly, I probably say it's my worst, um, you know, trait or whatever, and it's my gift and my curse. I would say, right? So, like, because I looked at it as like a way to connect with people, a way to empower people, and I really just wanted to reach and help as many lives as possible. Um, that I wanted to create something that was bigger than me. And the only way that I kind of saw that I could do that was, besides personal training, was training other coaches and having like a real impactful space through Sweat DC. We started as a pop-up and then had a location and, so expanded now virtually.
When did the actual brick and mortar, when did it open up?
3 years ago. So actually, I was looking at Facebook like pops up the things that
Right.
happened 3 years ago. So I actually signed a lease at the end of May 2017, and our
Okay.
first official day was like September 1st. The day we kind of look at it's like our first grand opening.
Where did the name Sweat DC come from?
My brain.
Okay.
No, I just so when I thought about Sweat DC, I just thought about when I think of sweat, I think of like movement, energy, fun, not just so much just working out, but whether I'm at a club and I'm dancing and whatnot, and we kind of combine that club atmosphere with, the fitness atmosphere and the empowerment. So sweat just kind of like, it just felt good.
Right. Because I know how serious you take, training people and how that really pushes you. How was that first year for you? Because obviously opening up a new business and trying to get it started and really trying to spread the word, how much of a mental toll did that take on you where there were times that you might have wanted to give up?
That's a great question. It was really hard. I would say it's still hard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I won't, and I think people don't really understand that. And one thing, I had a lot of success in the personal training space pretty quickly, and I
Hmm.
didn't have too many bumps. I worked hard, but I didn't really have a lot of bumps in the road. And training, when you have like a gym and you have staff and you have things that have to be bigger than you, it's a lot different. So I had a big learning curve that
Yeah.
I wasn't really necessarily as patient with myself as I needed to be. So it's a lot of toll. I don't know, I gained about 25 pounds from the time that I
Okay.
opened
Oh, geez.
over
Wow.
like 2 years. So like
Yeah.
to show the realness, that's like stress and not taking care of yourself, and things, same things that we preach to each other. Like sometimes we gotta look back at the things that we tell ourselves. But once I started talking to other entrepreneurs and stuff like that, I kind of learned that like that's also kind of part of that journey.
Yeah. Now, when I know you, but for people who don't, when does Coach
Everyone knows
G?
me.
Well, okay. When does Coach G go away? And then I know you said it's not a business, but at the end of the day, it is. And when does Gerard come out? When he has to crack down on things, or does he ever? Or is it just always Coach G?
I mean, I guess it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that, you have to have, it is a business, so you have to have honest feedback with people, and you have to be able to be honest with yourself about, taking care of things. I guess I would pull back the Coach G mask usually when I get home, honestly.
Okay.
And just when I just sit. I'm pretty extroverted and like to jump around and stuff, but I'm also like, I'm kind of like really on or really off. I really
Right.
can also love to just sit in my sofa and not move and don't do anything. Like literally,
Right.
like, what do y'all want to do? Like nothing. I just want to sit here.
Right.
So I guess I would say that's kind of like the Gerard mode, or just like intimate talk with my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Coach G mode is jumping in front of people and empowering. And I like that aspect of the arena also.
Okay. Cool. What makes Sweat DC different than, any other gym out there? It could be anything really, corporate, smaller boutique gyms. What makes it different?
I really think it's our vibe. And honestly, when I'm coaching coaches and I talk to other entrepreneurs, and I talk to a lot of younger coaches who are like looking into like open up their own space or just trying to develop their brand, right? We're in
Mhm.
if you're, especially in this social media world, like you look up and you're like, there's a million coaches. What's going to make me different? And I honestly think it's like you have to really just kind of dig into your core values and what you believe in and just ride in that. And like for us, it's our vibe, and we're all about creating that inclusive space where you can be an Olympic athlete, or you can be grandma, or you could be overweight. It could be your first day, it could be your 1,000th day, but we're still going to be able to challenge you and empower you all the
Yeah.
same. And you can't find a lot of places like that. I think the other thing that we really hone in on is you're already enough. Like you came here full, whole, and I'm just going to sharpen that edge up, and we're going to be the best version of yourself. But I'm not starting from a place of you need to lose weight, you're deficient, you're not strong enough, you're not that. So I think starting with that is a weird concept in this space,
Hmm.
because the model that has worked forever and ever, and the easy model is you're overweight, you need some help. You're skinny, you need some muscle. Like finding your problems and then working from that point.
Right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you that as far as mental health and mindset is concerned, your philosophy on that. And when you go into coaching someone, maybe it might be their first time, or maybe they're just getting restarted. How do you approach that aspect of fitness?
I think with me, I really don't do like a cookie cutter approach. I really I mean, when I talk to other trainers, younger trainers, I really try to get this and to realize this is like, you really have to know where your client's coming from and what they expect and what they need. And it's really disconnecting what you think they need from really listening and finding out what they need.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm talking to a client, some clients need metrics. Some clients need measurements and scales and stuff like that. I don't really believe in the scale too much, but I'll whip it out if a client really, really wants to. But a lot of clients don't care about that. And some of the things that you're grading your client on, they don't care about. So if a client just comes to feel better and find a better version of themselves, or just to carve 2 hours a week out for themselves, then give them that, And I think that's what we have to really become better listeners and really incorporating what our clients talk about into the practice of what your plan is.
Okay. Now, when it comes to training, what do you think your specialty is, or what do you find that your specialty is? Is it losing weight, muscle gain, or is it just all around everything?
I think I'm really good with knowing what people need when they don't even know what they need. Like,
Okay.
I have a very good intuitive sense. I would never say I'm the best X's and O's trainer out there.
Mhm.
honestly, when other trainers, I listen to trainers, I'm learning all the time. Like, oh, this, you gotta get your macros here. You need 7 sets of 8, like that stuff. I'm okay at it. I'm pretty good. I mean, I went to school and graduated, have my master's degree, and have a lot of certifications, so I know my stuff.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that I'm that guy. Like people come to me for like bodybuilding competitions. I'm like, that's not me.
Right.
I'm the guy that you go to when you don't want to be judged. I'm the guy you go to when you're a little bit nervous to go to the other trainers, or you're nervous to be seen in front of the gym floor, right? Like
Right.
training on the middle of the gym floor is one of the most like can be one of the most embarrassing places or
Yeah.
vulnerable places for people. So I'm the guy that you know that I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to empower you. Uh, if you have a day that you just having a rough day, like we might just sit down and talk, and give you what you
Right.
need. But we always get to where our goals are.
Now, where did that come from? Have you always been like, because, I think sometimes we're conditioned coming out of college that this is what we were trained or, taught to do, or that has that always just been in your personality to be that type of coach?
I think I had a really good mentor that helped me out
Mhm.
when I started off in summers in college. I was cleaning up the gym and just helping people put weights away and stuff like that. And I had a really good mentor, King Hinton. So follow him on Instagram. He's awesome. That really had a holistic approach. And I also think one of the reasons I got into this thing, my mom passed from congestive heart failure when I was 18, right? So the way I kind of look at why we do this is a little different than everyone else. It's not just about the physical stuff, but the longevity. So I just want to make sure that people find the best version of themselves.
Right. Now, when it comes to Coach G himself, what are his personal fitness goals right now? Yeah.
Right now, I'm hitting a lot of my goals, so I'm proud of
Okay.
myself. I would say the last like 2.5 years, I probably worked out less than I have the last 35 years,
Okay.
So really just kind of creating that space back and recreating like time for myself
Okay.
was really important. And then right now I'm kind of trying to shred a little bit, not a little bit, a lot of it. But I don't want to do anything that's like drastic. So just trying to maintain. And if I'm getting my workouts in 5 times a week, I'm good. Watching what I eat. And limiting my stress levels, really kind of like understanding I can be a person that just go, go, go because I don't want to fail.
Mhm.
But I also know that you can go, 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 and then you like plop.
Yeah.
So just kind of managing that and making sure that I'm taking care of my health and practicing what I preach, honestly.
Okay. Now, especially with what's going on right now, how do you find that time to rest per se? Maybe not even just, physically, but mentally with everything that's going on.
It's 10 million things going on. Which one you want to
I
pick?
you can pick one. I mean, you don't even have to pick one because I feel like we are dealing with 10 million
uh,
things and
um, I honestly, the pandemic's been one of the best things that's happened.
okay.
Because, and I try to get people to think about this, right? Like our life, especially when we live in the cities, like DC or New York or any of the cities around, like it's nothing for us to say like, all right, I'm working 12, 16 hours a day. I'm not going to take care of myself. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to call my friends. I'm not going to hang out with them. I'm not going to see my family. Like things that really life is about, honestly.
Right.
And sometimes we move to cities and we forget about what life's really about. And I think the pandemic has made people slow down a little bit and see
Hmm.
how work centered we are and find out who you are outside of your job. So I think it's helped me kind of maintain or get back on track. I've talked to friends that I haven't talked to in years and been able to like, do some stuff, do Facebook and Instagram lives like this
Right.
and just reconnect with people. So
Yeah.
um, overall, I think that's been great. I think as far as us, the pandemic side, of course, it hasn't been great for business, but whatever.
Right.
Um, on social justice side, I think it's also been great opportunity to speak out and as already a leader in the community, like speak even louder and make sure that our voice is heard and that we can create opportunities for other people and also be a voice that people, especially my white counterparts and white allies and friends and I've had a lot of questions, a lot of
Yeah.
people asking, and people were like, because they feel comfortable talking. And I'm like, it's
Mm.
okay to make a little. You can make a mistake with me. I'm not gonna
Right.
like ridicule you, but I will correct you, or I will, you know, we're all here to learn.
Yeah. Now, switching gears a little bit, you talked somewhat for your fitness goals and what you eat. How important do you find nutrition to everything that you do, either yourself or your clients?
Yeah, I mean, it's the age-old tale of what 80-20, 80% nutrition, 20% workouts and stuff.
Right.
But outside of just for your workouts and stuff, your nutrition really dictates how you feel. Like not just how you look, but like literally how you feel, the energy you have, your brain chemistry, like how you react. So I think just eating whole foods, making sure you're eating consistently, getting your protein in. One thing I'm working on now is drinking more water because I notice when I'm training a lot, I've taught myself how to not drink a lot of water because I don't want to pee all the time while I'm my
Right.
clients. But I also notice how that reacts in my body. So just trying to make sure I drink a lot of water and stay with nutrition. But I think with my clients, I have a very gradual approach. One thing that I'll ask is like, you know, do,
Oh.
I'll ask what is something that you
Mhm.
think that you can successfully do, right? And if they say yes, then I'm like, okay, then we'll do this. But if they're not sure, I don't think it's good to like approach that because it's about long term gain.
Right. Okay. Um, I had a question that I just totally forgot. I don't know where it went at the time. What?
It'll come
Sorry.
back.
My brain is quite fried as well with everything that's going on. What I was
Yeah.
gonna say, what are you doing currently now? Obviously with the pandemic, and it's slowly we're starting to slowly open back up. But with the time that you found yourself being able to work out, all that free time that you did have, what are you able to hone in on now?
Yeah, I think with some of the free time, a lot of days I've been able to do some 2 a days. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of running, which isn't necessarily my forte, but
Right,
why not try something new?
right.
And we have a virtual platform, Sweat Anywhere, so it has like 90 plus workouts a week. I mean, not a week, a month. So I've been able to like try out some more yoga classes and try out some core classes and try out like dance classes. Just having fun with movement.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you, are you guys doing any online trainings?
Yeah, so we created a whole app and platform. It's either web based or on your phone, and we partnered with a few different other studios. So we're offering HIIT training, strength training, yoga, dance, core, meditation, mindfulness. Um, we have a doctor that comes on every other Friday that talks about different Ask the Doctor programs. We have a food as medicine program. So we really created a whole wellness and lifestyle platform to really empower people throughout this time.
Okay. I wanted to get back to nutrition because that's what we were talking about, and that's where my brain was. Because I wanted to ask what your diet is like right now. As far as what your goals, because you talk about shredding a little bit. How is that? What's that like for you? Your diet?
Yeah, so can you still see me?
A little bit.
Okay, let me. Is that, where is it? There we go.
There we go.
All right, I have to get my studio lighting ready. Um, so what's my diet like? I think for the most part, I try to focus on. I'm a high protein guy, so I like to try to get a gram of protein for every pound that I weigh, or at least zero point 0.7 a gram. I usually figure if I focus on that, everything else will kind of flush out. Um, I also try to like limit my carbohydrates, especially after three.
Okay.
Um, doesn't always happen, but I try to do that. If I'm drinking, I try to make sure that whatever I'm mixing my alcohol with is low calorie. So I got into a routine of like darker alcohol last year, which I
Okay.
love. I started to love like bourbons and whiskeys and stuff. But I also know like when I go rainstorm.
Right. Yeah, I see. Here, actually, I should say. Still gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
there you
here.
go. So, okay. So, when it comes to a cheat meal, do you allow yourself a cheat meal or cheat meals per se?
Yeah, I don't track them as much as I did when I was younger. When I was like, all right, this is my cheat day, this is my cheat meal, and like being as strict. But I try to be pretty conscious with my eating. So just being sure that like, all right, if I know I'm having a big meal or something that's a little bit out of what I want to do,
Mm.
then I know early in the day I got to be eating pretty clean. Or if I have a day that's like one thing I try to tell my clients, and I live by it also, is like don't have 2 days in a row where you're like eating off. So if you have a day that you went ham, cool. Don't beat yourself up about it, but like let's try to eat clean the next day.
Yeah.
So
What's your go-to cheat meal?
I like peanut M&Ms. Is that a meal?
It's not really a meal, but I'll take it. I guess like a snack
When I eat
per
two of them,
se.
it's a meal, right?
Okay, right. The king
Yeah.
size ones.
Um,
So, talking about the pandemic, kind of wrapping things up a little bit, but what's the biggest thing that you learned about yourself through this whole pandemic?
um, that's a really good one. I think the biggest thing I've learned is I really like free time. At my heart, I'm a creative, and I just love that freedom to be able to create. You know, how we create the app. I'm working on like I have a CBD business I'm coming out with. I have a podcast I'm just coming out with. So I really not only enjoy it, I need that free time and I need that creative time, and I have to
Mm,
make sure even when we go back to post-pandemic world
right.
that I create that time and that space because that is energizing for me. So just making sure that I'm always feeding my energy.
Okay. Cool. Now, what would you leave everyone who's watched or who's going to watch later on down the road, this live? What would you leave with them as far as the gems? You know, it could be your philosophy as far as fitness, mental health, or just anything that you maybe someone put on you that you can put on us.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, just make sure people know that you are enough, right? Right where you are right now, you are enough. And if you kind of start leading your life from that space, then you know that nowhere else that you travel is negative, is positive, whatever. Like, and it kind of like allows you to walk around with a different type of vigor. So I think a lot of the mental health issues and things that we have, and even body issues and things that start from emotional or mental space, start from people not feeling like they are enough or not getting that reinforcement from society. So I think having that and reinforcing it yourself and writing it on notepads and putting it up on your mirror, putting it around you, surrounding yourself with that positive energy, motivational podcast, which is really like that. Those three words are really powerful. And I think in the midst of times when you don't feel it, because that we are going to have ups and downs because we're human, but trying
Right.
to reinforce that, then everything else will find it where it's going to be.
Awesome. Now, for people who don't follow you, run down all your social media for me and for them, and then it'll be posted as well to the video.
All right, cool. So they can follow me at Coach G Fitness as they are on Instagram. I have Coach G Fitness on Facebook also. Not really on Snapchat because I'm a little too old for Snapchat, but sometimes I'm on there. That's the best thing. And then check us out, definitely sweat-anywhere.com. And we have that platform, Sweat Anywhere platform. It's $50 a month, so it's very, very reasonable. It's like $1.50 a day. You get full access to live and on-demand workouts. So come check us out.
Awesome. Well, G, thank you for coming on. We'll chat after this.
All right.
All right.
Talk to
Be
you soon.
safe getting home.
Thanks. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'd like to thank Gerard, Coach G, for coming on. He is the owner of Sweat DC in Washington, D.C. So if you are in D.C., certainly feel free to stop by when they do start opening up. Check them out. Or the sweat-anywhere.com platform. I know it's great. It's more than just him. There's a whole bunch of trainers and coaches on there. So you can definitely check that out. Next week, Focus TV will we're still raring, but Wednesday and Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you check us out next week. Other than that, please everyone be safe. Have a great weekend and see you next week. Bye.